Hello everybody, this is Lila in Hawaii. I wanted to test really a new little piece of apparatus I have. It's not really new, it's kind of old new, but I hadn't used it for a while and I thought it used to work pretty well before, so I'll try it. And in trying it I'll show you a few things. Some of my stitcheries that I love to do. I've got loads and loads of them all around the place. This is one I did, and this is called French knot embroidery, and everything is based on French knots. I don't know if you can see that too well because the light is shining, but I'm going to put it there and I'll move the camera a little bit closer there. I was able to find this frame that looked like a doorway, so it's like the door to the secret garden. And I started off with a printed silk. It had an image on it. The garden didn't look quite like this, but it had trees and a few items in the foreground. And then I just ad-libbed. So most of this is French knots. There are a few, like these are French knots. These are actually ribbon rosebuds. And these are little ribbon lilies. But the rest of it is pretty much French knots. And so that's one of my stitcheries. I also do the other kind of stitchery. You know, I like doing cottages. And this one is a cottage. Let me see if I can put this here. I don't think it's going to stand too well. Oh, okay. So that's a cottage that I did from a... let me think now how I did this, because I did this last year. I painted the cottage, which is one I saw in Provence in France, and then I padded it and I did machine stitchery around that, free machine stitchery, and then in my usual fashion I did sort of loose collage, and then I was able to find some fabric that kind of was French and had some French writing, and I backed it with that. So that's another cottage, and that's just mounted on cardboard. And the other one I was going to show you was from a class, actually. Let me see. Let me move that. I've taught this class a few times, and this one is framed. And how do you like my little brush here? This is my brush. I love this brush. It's gentle on pictures, and when I get something like dust or something, it doesn't disturb the stitchery. Anyway, this one is called Opal Fields, and it was Opal Fields in Australia actually, and there's a little kookaburra bird up there. So the base of this was a piece of lace that I found, and it had these bird images already on the lace. So all I did was outline stitch them, and then I just did a sort of a loose collage of textiles and leaves. I did some velvet leaves. I made a few sort of pansies, and I added a little bit of stitchery, some French knots, some crinkled up ribbon, and then some more lace applique, little pieces of velvet, and I did sort of scrunch it all and just sew it on loosely, and then called it Opal Fields. And I've actually taught several versions of this in classes with different colorways and with different names, and relating all though to different parts of Australia. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Bye bye.